Hey everyone, Nubkeks here, and welcome back to Here's the Storm. Today I'm bringing you some Thrall gameplay. I realised that I haven't actually covered Thrall in quite a while. I did him back quite a bit at the start of Season 1, but I think a lot of that was actually in the live streams. He's a really nice hero to play. I played him a lot in my ranked gameplay this year, or this season, because he's a nice safe pick, he's a solid pick. And in this game, I'm showing you some Thrall gameplay on Cursed Hollows, which is potentially one of his best maps. He's really nice on this one. Also picked him up late in the draft here. We had a Falstad. I thought the enemy team was likely to pick a Thrall up, would have really rounded out their comp nicely, so I kind of stole that away before they had a chance. And I think it was a pretty good choice. You're going to see, I think it's a pretty good game. Hopefully you guys will enjoy this one. So right at the start, we're definitely poking back and forth, definitely being cautious here. They have a lot of damage, a lot of potential burst damage that we really need to watch out for. The Greymane goes in, I do try to focus him down. One thing, I wasn't quite on point with my reflexes and stuff in this game, so I do adjust my playstyle for that. But for example, potentially could have killed Greymane there if I'd been a bit quicker in the chain lightning. He might have still lived, I'm not sure. But that was something to watch out for. Falstad is going to go deal with... Oh, I wonder what happens if he hits that when he flies. I think it just stops the flight. Falstad is going to go deal with that top lane. I do land the root on Tyrell, ensuring that he dies. I'm just going to sidestep. They don't really have any damage, so I can just like run up to the north of the lane like that and not really care. I think at some stage I will swap around with Falstad, but we've got a couple of really strong solo laners, and we kind of denied the enemy team the same thing. You can see, by the way, I thought it was very funny in this game, is our Uther is like... he's a pretty new player. I'm actually going to have 2 games up on the channel with this guy, and his buddy is the Sylvanas in this game. They were a duo queue together. It was very funny. Uther, he's a good player, but inexperienced. So some of the plays he makes definitely reflect that. For example, here, he's going really aggressive. I was kind of thinking we'd back up at earlier than that. He decides to go in, though, and it worked out okay in the end, actually. You know, we traded 1 for 1, which isn't too bad. But he is obsessed with, like, he's a laning Uther, which is not very good. And we could really leave it to someone else, but oh well. Oh well. It could be worse, it could be worse. As you can see from Thrall's gameplay here, by the way, Thrall, he has a lot of self-healing, and that's one of the things that makes him so strong. I'm actually going to take over, I think, at this stage, the top lane for Falstad. Just free up Falstad to do stuff around the map. I think Falstad is better, or he can get more value around the map, exploiting his flight. He just does more damage when he has the freedom to get his damage out, so that's why I kind of went with that. The talent build I've gone for in this game is fairly standard, actually. It's the most common build I actually go for. So Chain Lightning at levels 1 and 4, it increases the range of Chain Lightning. Very useful on this map. I was considering picking up Block to go against the Greymane, but I went for Chain Lightning instead. It's nice for interrupting the tributes, for poking the back line. It also gives you mana back whenever you hit a target that has been hit by Chain Lightning. And then level 4, you just increase the number of targets it bounces to. It heals you more because of your trait. Whenever you deal ability damage, it does heal you. Being kind of cautious here. I know I've got my heal is almost coming up, but not quite, so just being cautious there. I had a Zagara game a while ago where I got killed by Greymane early on. I didn't want to repeat that mistake, so just being careful, backing away from that fight, knowing that I can heal up much more easily than Greymane can now. Okay, he has his healer helping him, and he had a well to tap, so he's actually fine. But that trade would typically work out in my favor because I'm getting health back and he's not. Awesome. Here we go. This Greymane actually goes way too deep. Not sure what he was doing there. If he'd backed up, they would have been okay. But their team appears to be just giving up this tribute. Again, we've got, as you see down bottom, the old split-pushing Uther going against Li Ming. And Li Ming isn't great in the solo lane either, so it's actually going fairly even. And we had Artanis, or their Artanis was soaking XP in the mid lane, so we kind of picked up that tribute fairly easily. I'm not going to complain too much. But yeah, this is your fairly standard talent build. It's pretty useful. At level 7 I'm going to pick up Follow Through, which whenever I use an ability will improve the damage of my next basic attack. And this is where a lot of Thrall's power comes from. He's got a very hard-hitting basic attack, but it's very slow. Now, the good news is that combos really well with follow through, right? Because every time you use an ability, it powers your base attack damage. And that's basically how you're going to play Thrall in the team fight, is you're going to be looking for your abilities do a lot of damage and your follow through does a lot of damage. You're not really sustained basic attack damage dealer, though it does, it does add up over time. You're mostly going to want to focus on using your abilities well and then getting those follow through procs off. So actually landing a basic attack, hopefully between every spell cast if you can, and that will get the max usefulness out of what you're trying to do here. I do have a tribute spawning quite near me. Again, you can see I can bully Tyrael quite well in the lane. And our teammates actually getting killed down bottom. That's pretty nice as this tribute is coming up. Now I'm going to be careful here. I'm going to try save my chain lightning at this point to interrupt the tribute in case anyone tries to cap it. Just going to try push this in. Okay, Greymane is trying to cap it. Going to run over and chain lightning him. Actually going to be fairly close. We do interrupt it with about a second to spare, and that's fine. Ooh, Falstad being maybe a bit overly ambitious right there. It's going to get a lot of damage down on him. Again, just poke that Greymane once again. They're going to have a really hard time dealing with that poke damage. Our teammates do arrive. I hadn't quite noticed that on the minimap. I was kind of focused on the enemy team. That was kind of nice. Hit the Greymane with the root, and there we go. He's dead. Awesome. If Nartanis coming in. Now, again, you can see if I was playing kind of at my best, I would have dodged the Artanis backswing. It's definitely very important to dodge the backswing of his blade dash right there. It does the most damage, and it also, if he talents into it, it also refreshes the cooldown on his shield. So it's quite important to dodge that backswing. I just like stood right into it. I just like auto attack running into his face. So not ideal, but it could have been worse. We're getting a nice push here with Sylvanas. We actually just pick up a fort for free, which is really nice. We have level 10 as well now, so big advantage for us. One of the things you'll see in this game, and kind of again reflecting that playstyle, as opposed to how you might have seen me play Thrall before. Again, I was just like, oh my god, I was trying to ping my mana to say I'm hearthing because I got no mana. I miss the first ping, then I ping my health, then I ping my mana. I was kind of going, oh my god, I'm playing at like maybe 80-85% micro skill here at the moment. Like, it's just not quite on point. But yeah, one of the things you'll see is that with my Sunderings, I'm not going to go for like the sort of aggressive Sunders that I would normally go for with Thrall. So you see someone a little bit out of position, it's like, bam, okay, Sunder them, knock them even more out of position, try pick them off and get that kill. I was just like, I'm not really feeling that level of aggression in this game. I don't really feel like I'm up to it. So instead, you're going to see me play a much more patient game, saving that Sunder for a long time until it's going to be really disruptive in a team fight, more so than looking for someone out of position getting a pick. So for example, like there, I could have maybe run up and Sunder the Li Ming and maybe try to dive her. I could try maybe Sunder here. There's a number of options I could have gone for. I don't think it's ideal what I'm doing here, but I thought that was funny as well. Oriel actually killed Li Ming. Oops, Li Ming is like, why did you use your heroic on me? Why? Yeah, it could have been, I definitely could have gone more aggressive, but it's something you can do. You know, sometimes you play maybe not super ideal. You play a bit more passively, a bit more cautiously than you normally would. Again, it's just one of those things. You're just not feeling it. You're not quite in the zone in the game, and it's okay to recognize that and to play around it. It's better than just trying to go super aggressive or trying to make plays that you could make when you're at like 95-100% skill level, because if you try to make them, you could screw yourself up and just ruin your day. So that's something to watch out for in this game. As you can see, for example, I haven't yet to use the Sunder. I've kept it this whole time. Haven't needed to use it, essentially. We're getting a nice push here. Again, just destroying that wall. You don't get a keep, obviously, it's quite early. There's the curse run out, and that's fine. I should mention with Earthquake, you're very rarely going to use Earthquake. Unless you're a fairly advanced Thrall player, I just steer away from it. You're going to be perfectly fine. Now, that was a pretty decent heroic right there. I was considering Sundering right there, but the Sank came down, which kind of prevented me from doing so. I think Sylvanas died to Greymane in the mid lane, and again, I was considering using Sunder to disengage as well, but we had the Gust come out from Falstad, which did the job for me. I thought it was kind of funny. We've hit level 13, I haven't actually used the Sundering yet, haven't really had a perfect opportunity. A couple of times right there where I was like, okay, almost, but other heroics came in and kind of took that chance away. Again, the ideal thing you do here, I suppose, is get in behind one of these siege dudes and hit them both with your wolf. It doesn't really matter too much, though. The enemy team was doing the boss. However, our team was kind of too spread out and split up to really contest that. I just decided to give it up to them and just try to deal with the boss as is. I was considering, should I Hearthstone for mana or should I tap my well here? I think I start the Hearthstone and then go, actually no, I'll just tap for mana and we'll just kill this boss as quickly as we can. We'll probably be okay. Again, our teammates are kind of spread across the lanes, just getting maximum soak. This boss shouldn't do too much damage. It's only a 10-minute boss, so it's not too much of a threat. I'm just going to be using my abilities to get as much damage down as I can. Actually getting body blocked by the minions, which means I do get stunned by the boss. Bit of a noob move. Doesn't actually result in too much DPS loss though, and again, because of Thrall, you got a lot of self-healing, so it's not a huge deal. Our Sylvanas is like, I think she's like in gold 3 or something. I was curious because watch this play from her now. She's like, hey, there's Li Ming. All right, I'm just gonna kill her. I was so taken aback by this. I was like, shit, should I go and help? She just wipes her out. I was like, what? You can see me just kind of running in circles there. I was like, so taken aback. I was like, okay, good job, dude. Really didn't expect that. That was like really, really nice Sylvanas play. I mean, yeah, I was just super impressed by that. I was like, that was awesome. Well played, man. Well played. You can see here, this is a nice Sunder opportunity here. There we go. Knock these guys into the boss. The boss finishes off one. The Sunder killed whoever. He killed one of them with the Sunder. The boss killed the other one when I sundered them into the stun. And then I was able to focus down whoever the last one was. And yeah, that worked out really nicely. Artanis is going to die here as well. Awesome. There we go. That's the Sunder I was waiting for. Holding on to it for, I don't know how long it's been, 5 minutes or something, for a long old time anyway. But finally, level 15, we finally get the Sunder we've been waiting for this whole game. And it was a nice one. Really paid off well. And there you go. Sweet. Awesome. Sylvanas is doing a Merc camp. That's fine. I'm going to push him with this boss. Our teammates are going to go deal with the push down here. One thing you'll notice, by the way, in this game, one of the weaknesses of Thrall, by the way, level 13, actually, before I say that, level 13 picked up Giant Killer. I thought it'd be really useful against the Artanis and whoever their other tank is. I think they have another tank. I haven't really been paying attention to that. I think they do. Anyway, it's good against Artanis. Yeah, Artanis Tyrael. It's going to really Shrek them. And then Ride the Light. I forget what it's called, level 16 as well. Basically, it makes your Wind Fury, your E, the final strike will hit 3 times. These are really nice to combo together, because it applies a full stack of Giant Killer, or full application of Giant Killer with all of those 3 hits. So that's basically a huge chunk of your enemy's max HP that you shred off, like almost 5% with that final Wind Fury hit. So it's going to be really effective against these tanks. Again, they've got Artanis, that's going to be kind of tough to deal with. So that will help us just burn through him. You can see I can kind of afford to be fairly aggressive here because 3 of the enemy team are dead. It's only the healer and Tyrael left, so they're really no threat to a Thrall, which is why I'm kind of pushing up so far in this lane. Okay, watch the Tyrael's life. Boom, boom, boom. Whole chunk of his life comes off now. Okay, he's got the I think he tapped his well, or else just picked up a load of regen globes, not sure which, but he did have that, so he kind of healed it up. But during a team fight, it does add up to an awful lot of damage. It's quite nice. What I meant to say about Thrall, one of his big weaknesses is he's got really bad wave clear. You've seen me in this game using my Wolf, my W actually, the Feral Spirits, to try to use that for a bit of wave clear as well. It's really not his strength. It's one of the things I joke about when I think in my last Falstad video, I was up against Thrall. I was like, okay, that's Falstad. Sure, Thrall's gonna poke me down and heal himself up loads. It's not a big deal. That was a nice Divine Shield. And there we go. There's the Sunder. They had a Wailing Arrow as well. We kind of overlapped a bit, but hey, we'll take it. A double kill. It worked out nicely enough in the end. Really nice Divine Shield there, kind of saving me when I went a bit out of position. And the enemy team then overcommitting and getting caught out. So that was really nice too. He's going to die here, unfortunately. But what can you do? We should hopefully get this keep. I do go quite low on life, but I do make it out in the end. Our teammates are going hard for this keep. They do pick it off in the end. Looks like Uther's gonna fall, but it could be worse. It could be worse. Don't think we're gonna be able to get this tribute. We have a lot of stuff missing. So yeah, no, we're not gonna be able to get it. But still, getting a keep, not too bad. And it's only the enemy team's first tribute, so it really doesn't matter too much. I was considering going up and fighting it, but decided against it. Sylvanas is saying she has no ult. I was kind of hoping we might catch someone out, like a Greymane would be in the bush there or something like that, just waiting to gank someone coming on low health, because we were all on low health, right? I was kind of thinking, hey, Greymane might come and be low on health and we could kind of get a lot of value off of that. This was pretty bad, definitely being overly aggressive on my part, but Falstad comes and saves me. Not even close, not even close. I was just way out of position, being way too aggressive on the Tyrael. Enemy team came and punished me. It's funny, he didn't actually have Holy Ground, but it was the knockback from the Oriole that got me there. It kind of caught me out of position. But well played by the enemy team with that gank, and then nice, thank you Falstad for saving my ass for doing something dumb. But yeah, I mean, that's one of the weaknesses, I suppose, of Thrall, is that he lacks quite a lot of mobility and he lacks escape, so he is somewhat vulnerable to ganks. Unfortunately, just missing that wolf there on the Li Ming. It's a relatively difficult skill shot to hit the wolf. It does move quite slowly and it is surprisingly narrow. I feel like it looks wider than it actually is. I don't know. The enemy team are probably doing the boss at this stage, or at least wanting to start it. It's worth scouting out at the very least. No, they're not starting it. Greymane's out of position. Okay, no, okay, they're coming around, but Greymane is like way out of position. This is nice. Good work, Falstad, spotting him. Down he goes, just melted. Awesome. I think we could choose at this point to either do the boss or do the tribute. Either one could work. Again, I'm hoping for a nice Sunder opportunity here. Not sure if we'll get one. We'll see. Swinging around. Spot the Li Ming. Alright, nice. Okay, I do remember this. I watched this replay back before I started commentating on it. Getting nice damage down Li Ming. If you look at the minimap right now, you can see Uther and Sylvanas are just running away for no reason. Really, they should have been here. That was not a good Sunder that time around. I just got itchy trigger finger and popped it. It would have killed Li Ming if I'd waited just that little bit longer and hit her out of that. But yeah, I mean, Falset's going to get to this fight before Uther or the Sylvanas actually do. If they'd actually come with us, I think it would have been fine. The Li Ming was caught way out of position. I think they really should have followed. I don't think they really got much of value. I mean, Uther went and took the vision thing, which is okay, and Sylvanas cleared a bit of a minion wave, but it's really not very important. I really think they should have followed in with the teammates that were engaging. Just go with what your teammates are doing. They backed it up, and as a result, I die. This will secure, probably for the enemy team, the boss. So, on one hand, it was a bit of an overextension on me, on my part, but I think more than that, it was the fact that our teammates backed up. I think Falset did the right thing flying up and grabbing the tribute. That was fine. I think the four of us, though, the rest of us, could have still put up a really good fight and maybe got a kill or something, and it would have worked out okay. This is definitely risky what they're doing here. They're trying to take a 3-man boss. The enemy team is almost definitely coming to stop them. I'm just saying ink. I'm like, yeah, they're definitely coming to kill you. That's 100% what I would do if I was the enemy team. Uther is maybe going to die. Ooh, nice interrupt by Johanna actually just saves Uther. I'm coming in here. As you can see, Sylvanas is down bottom clearing out the boss, which is fine. I think it's a bit risky. I'm just pinging that. I'm like, Sylvanas, go take it. Go take it. The boss is going to die. Just to get us the curse and we'll be okay. Doing what damage I can to Artanis. Actually took more damage than I expected from that Li Ming. Nice work by Falset coming in there. The enemy team re-engages. I sundered them though, and Falset just about picks up the boss before before he dies. Awesome. I was really happy with that Sundering. That Sundering was pretty epic. Really nice play by Falset as well. Getting over that wall and the gust, really nice play. Again, that was probably why they started doing that boss when they were only 3 against 5, was that they felt like, oh, we got Falset, we can do it. But the enemy team had Tyrael at the same time with the Holy Ground. I don't know. I think it was a bad call, but it worked out. Sure, we lost 2 heroes, but we got the boss, and that's pretty good. Sylvanas is just now actually making her way over to the tribute. I think she could have got it earlier, like while their whole team was up killing us. I think she could have got it. The boss wouldn't have really achieved anything after she got that initial damage down. It would have been pretty sleek, and would have had the boss pushing in the curse, but this works out as well. Can pick up Bolt to the Storm at level 20. I don't think I even use it in this game, to be honest. Again, I felt there was a couple of opportunities where I could have used like an aggressive Bolt to the Storm, but it just never quite fully clicked with me. I just felt like my play was not, again, on point. So, although I saw a couple of opportunities for aggressive bolts, I kind of just shied away from them and said, I'll play it safe. I don't want to take this aggressive move and then screw it up and cost my team dearly. So this will have to do. See, doing a ton of damage. At this point, I was like, okay, this is a potential bolt in. I was hoping the Sunder would kill her. I could have bolted there with the Q. But oh well, I had a really long blind. Oriel has a really powerful blind, a 4-second blind on an 8-second cooldown, which is kind of, she hit me with that, which is why I didn't go aggressive with a bolt into a basic attack. But oh well, it worked out in the end. Hey, we got 3 kills out of that. Sweet, we're on the core. That's going to be game. And well played team, pretty nice. GG easy, he says. Yeah, it's a pretty good game. Hopefully gave you a bit of an insight into Thrall. Bolt of the Storm is, by the way, going to be your go-to level 20 talent nearly all the time. It's just, it addresses what I mentioned earlier with Thrall's lack of escapes. It just fixes that. It's not an amazing talent, but it's nice. The rest of his talents are really underwhelming. You've Nexus Blades, which is okay, but not great. And then you've got the World Breaker, whatever, Sunder goes infinitely, which is pretty terrible. There's the stats, we'll come back to those since we actually did really well. Rolling Thunder, Ride the Lightning, okay. Follow through, getting the names right. Sundering, Giant Killer, what's this one? Tempest Fury? Tempest Fury, that's what it is, and Bolt of the Storm. That's your typical Thrall talent build. That's the one you'll go for most often. It's the generally most useful, the kind of bruisery type Thrall build. Really does quite a lot of damage to frontline heroes, and it's pretty epic. If we go back to the stats here, I actually cut the video off a little bit early, so bear with me 1 second as I get back to that stat screen myself. Obviously I'll fix this in post editing for you guys. Okay, there we go. All right, there's the stats. You can see we died once, which is decent. We got a lot of XP for our team. Again, really focusing on soloing some of those lanes as Thrall. It's where he really shines. And again, that's why he shines on Cursed Hollows, is that they're 3 lanes, but they're very widely spaced apart. So you can go into it solo as one hero, and you just stay in that lane. You're very difficult to kill because you keep healing yourself. You keep poking the enemy heroes with your Q, your lightning, your chain lightning, and it makes life really difficult for the enemy, whoever is up there against you. Usually they'll have someone like Falstad. Very common to do Thrall against Falstad in Hero League on this map. Typically how it goes is Falstad will push the lane in, you'll push Falstad's life down, Falstad will Hearthstone and fly back, and that's basically it. It's like Thrall doesn't have enough lane push to actually push it and get structural damage, and he doesn't do much structural damage anyway, so it's kind of like a stalemate lane with just Thrall slowly killing Falstad, but he can use his flight to get back. It's kind of funny actually. But yeah, Thrall perhaps not as good on other maps where the lanes are closer together, because then you can have teams sort of rotate a bit more and deal with the lanes that way, soak XP and push down the lanes that way. He's not as valuable. He's definitely stronger on maps with broader lanes, where you're going to have kind of each lane rather independent from each other. That's where he really shines, because he is such a pain in the ass to deal with when you don't have any self-sustain yourself. He'll just out-sustain you, and it's a nightmare to deal with. Yeah, he's great. He's really strong. I did move him down in my tier list a little bit at the start of, or with the last large patch, the Gul'dan patch is when I moved him down, because I think that was the patch when they changed the minions. They made minions more powerful, so actually pushing lanes is more powerful. I said, well, Thrall's not good at pushing lanes, so that's kind of a nerf to Thrall in a sense, that compared to like Falstad or Zagara or some of these sort of solo-y heroes that can really push lanes very hard, he doesn't bring that same power that they do, that same structural damage that they do. But I've kind of moved him back up. I do feel like he's a really nice hero. He's a really safe pick, usually, early on in the draft, because he's always good. The Sundering is just really good, especially against a lot of heroes. Again, you saw the Sunder just wreck the enemy's team in this game. Like the Lee-Main, Grey-Main really suffering. Yeah, he's just really solid. He's really nice. And it's also good as well to kind of slot him in. Again, you have that, like, you normally have your solo warrior slot, or let's say you've got a warrior slot and a support slot, and they're nearly always filled, or they should nearly always be filled. Then you got 3 usually damage dealer or flexi type ones. You normally have like 2 heroes focused on damage. Then that third slot, that last slot, is kind of open. And ideally, sometimes you get a second support, sometimes a second warrior, or sometimes like a bruiser, so like a warrior that does more damage. And Thrall also, although he's a melee assassin, he does fit into that role because he is quite tanky, and he does bring that CC and that engagement with the Sundering. So he's very different from other assassins. He's very bruiser-like in how he plays, let's put it that way. A little bit squishier, but does more damage than other bruisers, typically speaking. But yeah, you can definitely slot him in there. So instead of taking 3 ranged damage dealers, definitely consider taking a Thrall instead. It gives your team comp is just much more well-rounded and flexible. He's probably a relatively simple hero to pick up and do okay with at the start. I do, though, think he has a very high skill cap. Making the most of your trait and knowing when to sunder well and all that sort of thing is quite difficult and also like knowing when you can engage and like self-sustain without any escape. It's difficult to do for sure, but he can be a very good hero, so that's kind of fun, pick him up and you can do okay with him. But then there's a really high skill cap that you can keep learning about him as you play more and more, and I do like that. I mean, we did a lot of hero damage in that game. It's pretty nice, and we actually did a substantial amount of siege damage as well, more than I was expecting. You wouldn't expect normally to be particularly high in siege damage. You'd expect like Falstad and other heroes to be higher than you are, but we'll take what we can get. Anyway, give it a like if you liked it, guys. I'll see you all next time for more gameplay. Bye bye.